All right, so we are going to do bank reconciliation practice 1 together. So we're going to start by actually filling out the checkbook register portion. This is just good practice from before. So for instance, our check number is 200 on this first example. The date is March 15th. Remember, the top line is always who it's to, so roads, and it's for gas. So gas is going to go on the second line. This is the payment amount. This would be the deposit amount. So you're going to subtract these, add these, and it was for $15.50. So we're going to take $15.50. So we're going to minus $15.50, and we're going to get $109.50 as our new balance because I've already done the math to get it going faster. So that's this first one. Then check 201 is the second one, and it was written on March 15th as well, and it was written to J-Town for lunch in the amount of $6.50. So we're going to subtract $6.50 and get $103 even. Okay. Then the next one used our debit card. So DC is our abbreviation for that. On March 16th to McDonald's for dinner in the amount of $3.45. So minus $3.45, and we got $99.55. Then we have deposit, so D for deposit. Top line is always deposit, and then it was our paycheck, so that's the bottom line. Date was 3/17, and the amount of $100, but we got 20 cash back. So we really didn't deposit 100, we only deposited 80 because the 20 we kept cash back. So we're gonna add 80 and get $179.55. Then wrote check 202 to JHS for lunch on 3/18 and the amount of $10. So we're going to subtract $10 and get $169.55. And then we have one additional transaction, debit card purchase, J-Town for pizza. And that was in the amount of $805. So we're going to subtract $805 and get $161.50 as our total, and back here on the date that was 3/19. So we have our checkbook register filled out. Now we are ready to compare that to what the bank has on file. So remember, we got to do some comparison here. So we need to double check that the check numbers and the transactions and the amounts on our bank statement are exactly the same in our check register. One thing I want to remind you, the dates may be different because this is the date that you wrote it. The bank has the date that that it cleared. So the dates may be different. So the first thing on our list is roads for $15.50. So here's roads for $15.50. We're going to put a check mark there, and I also like to check to the side to make sure I don't miss any. Then we have our Ameren UE for $62.21. It was an electronic payment. We did not do any electronic payment, so at this point what happened is we forgot to write it down, and we need to go ahead and do that. So electronic payment would go on the line, and 3/15 we'll just use the date that is provided on the bank statement. It's for $62.21 to Ameren UE, and that's going to be for your electric bill. So we're going to minus $62.21 and gives us $99.29. And then since it is on our bank statement, we have to check it off, and then I'm going to mark it off here. Then we have $3.45 to McDonald's. I remember writing that one down. Here it is right here. Mark that off. And then $8.05 to J-Town is right down here. And I'm going to mark that off as well. So we've taken care of these top 4 items. Here's a deposit of $80. That's going to be our check right here. So there's our deposit. We're going to mark that off. And then we have two items down here at the bottom of our bank statement. We have an ATM withdrawal, which we did not write down, so we need to go ahead and add that as well. So we're going to use the date 3/21 ATM, and it's going to be ATM withdrawal. And if you remember what it's for, that's great. We're just going to let's just put down movies. Okay, and it was in the amount of $25. So we're going to subtract $25, and that's going to give us $74.29. And we're going to mark that off because it's on our bank statement, and I'm going to make a mark right there. And then we have our interest that we earned on 3/29. I for interest. Then you can put earned interest here. Month of March. And that's going to be on the plus side, so 232. Over here, giving us $76.61 as a balance. We mark that off. And so that is the last item. All of our items are listed on our bank statement, have now been checked off on our check register. So now we're ready to look for the two items, or three items. Looks like we have two. There's one here and one here that are going to have to be put onto our reconciliation form here. So for instance, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our ending bank statement balance. So if we look at our bank statement, here is the ending balance right here of $93.11. So that's what's going to go right up here, $93.11. And then we're going to look at our register for deposits that have not cleared. Neither one of these are a deposit. So that means that nothing, goes here, and that drops down here, nothing goes here, and we just drop down the total, $93.11, because there were no deposits that did not clear the bank. Everything cleared. So the two items that were left on our check register are as follows. Check 201 on 3/15 in the amount of $650 was not marked off. And then down here, check 202 on 3/18, in the amount of $10. So when we add those, that's going to be $16.50, and that's the amount that's going to go right here as well. And then when you do the math, you're going to take the $93.11 minus the $16.50. You're going to get $76.61. There were no service charges. That would have been on your bank statement. So you're just going to drop $76.61 down, and you've got to make sure that this and this are equal. And if they are, then you have everything correct.